What if I told you Reconstruction actually worked? That after the Civil War, the United States briefly became a multiracial democracy, with black men voting, holding office, building schools, and shaping state governments. And that it wasn't incompetence that ended it. It was violence. It was political compromise. It was betrayal. In 1865, the Civil War ended. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated just days later. 4 million formerly enslaved people were now free. But freedom raised enormous questions. Would they own land? Would they vote? Would they have legal protection? Would former Confederates regain power? Lincoln's successor, Andrew Johnson, favored a lenient plan toward the South. Former Confederate leaders quickly returned to power. Southern states passed black codes, laws restricting black freedom. Congress responded. In 1867, Congress passed the Reconstruction Acts. The South was divided into military districts. States had to ratify the 14th Amendment guarantee, black male suffrage, rewrite state constitutions. And something remarkable happened. Black men voted in huge numbers. Black citizens were elected to office. Over 2,000 black men held public office during Reconstruction. In 1870, Hiram Revels became the first black U.S. senator. The Freedmen's Bureau helped establish thousands of schools. For the first time in Southern history, public education systems were created for both black and white children. Literacy rates rose. Land ownership among black families increased. State constitutions expanded civil rights. This wasn't chaos, it was transformation. Despite modern myths, Reconstruction governments were not uniquely corrupt. They built public schools, hospitals, railroads, fairer tax systems. They expanded democracy. For a brief moment, interracial political coalitions governed Southern states. That threatened the old power structure. And that's when the violence escalated. White supremacist groups organized to destroy Reconstruction. The Ku Klux Klan launched campaigns of terror. Paramilitary groups like the White League and the Red Shirts openly attacked black voters and Republican officials. Massacres occurred. Elections were rigged through intimidation. The federal government sometimes intervened, but Northern commitment began to fade. Then came the Panic of 1873, a severe economic depression. Reconstruction became politically unpopular in the North. White Southern Democrats, calling themselves Redeemers, regained state governments. The presidential election of 1876 was disputed. Democrat Samuel J. Tilden won the popular vote. Republican Rutherford B. Hayes contested several Southern states. The result? A backroom deal, the Compromise of 1877. Hayes became president. In exchange, federal troops were withdrawn from the South. Reconstruction ended. Without federal protection, black political power was crushed. Within years, voter suppression laws spread, segregation laws emerged. Violence enforced white supremacy. The Jim Crow system solidified. The promise of Reconstruction was dismantled. Not because it failed, but because it was deliberately destroyed. Reconstruction proved something powerful. Multiracial democracy in America was possible. It functioned. It built institutions. It expanded rights. But it required protection. When that protection was withdrawn, democracy collapsed under organized violence. And the consequences lasted nearly a century. The tragedy of Reconstruction isn't that it didn't work. It's that it was working and was abandoned.